Ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Stellaris. If you're really eagle-eyed, you might notice that my starting system is a little bit different from what it was, and that's because when I quit the game last time, my game didn't auto-save. So fortunately, I had saved the race. I've just loaded the race back up, and we can continue more or less from where we left off, albeit in a slightly different galaxy. Let's take a look at that galaxy. So this is where we're playing, this is what it looks like. It's nice and spread out. That's my range with my one wormhole station that I currently have. So there's not a great deal of stars that I can explore, to be honest. I seem to be in quite a not dense area. And we should be bumping up to other races relatively quickly, given that I set it to 4, I think it was, 4 races. Well, let's get some things started. First of all, I've got to set my research going. So here are my scientists. I'm going to have a solar panel network. I'm going to go for that first. And colony ships. I want colony ships as quickly as possible. Ion thrusters, engineering facilities, or corvette assembly yards. Engineering facilities and research stations. Ion thrusters will speed my ships up a bit. And corvette assembly yards make it cheaper to produce corvettes, which are the smallest type of ships, and upgrade my spaceports, which is probably my more desired tech, but it's going to take a long time to research that, so I'll go with engineering facilities. Let's take a look at my leader. This is Emperor Mezak. He's 36 years old. He's a champion of the people and an expansionist. That's his trait, which means champion of the people, he gets plus 10 happiness to all his subjects, which is wonderful. He appears to genuinely care about his subject. He doesn't. And expansionist, frontier outpost build costs are minus 15%. I'm going to go to my policies. So this will set what I can and can't do, and I want to make sure that everything's set up to how I want it. So, unrestricted wars, that is definitely what I want. Slavery is prohibited, regulated, or allowed. It is allowed. What's regulated? What's the difference between regulated? You get reduced efficiency. Now, we allow slavery. There's no regulation on slavery. Slave procreation. We can decide if slaves should be allowed to procreate or not. Except I don't seem to be able to. Not sure why. Perhaps it needs to be regulated in order to do that. It's not exactly clarifying it. Purge, whether I'm allowed to kill my population. Purge is an atrocity, or the troublesome and corrupt elements within our empire must be cleansed. Purge is allowed. Orbital bombardment, light bombardment, limited bombardment, or full bombardment. Full bombardment. If we change it, we can't change it back for another 10 years, but that's fine. I want to be able to blow everyone up with no restrictions. Migration, so can our people move from one planet to another planet, or do they stay where they are? It's currently prohibited, which means they can't move. I set it the primary species of only or free movement. I'm going to leave it unprohibited. Resettlement, similar to migration, but it allows me to force move people, and at the minute I can force move people, and I'm going to stick it like that. Voting rights, there's no voting, because we don't do that sort of thing. Leadership is limited to primary species only, and first contact protocol, aggressive or peaceful. We'll have aggressive. We're not necessarily going to be aggressive, but having that set as aggressive means we can fight something if we want to. Edicts. Do we want any edicts at the moment? So let me quickly look at my home planet of Hydrax. So at the minute, my population are very happy. So they've got an FX divergence of minus 23%, the guys on that planet. which means they're not going to move away from the ethics of our empire. So I can safely take encourage free thought, which gives a plus 15% modified ethics divergent and plus 10% research speed. I can give them that and still be confident that they're not going to divert away from the governing ethics of my empire. Right, that's my initial setup done. Research is done. I'm happy enough with all of my policies, so I'm going to unpause and start the game properly at normal speed. Let's check this governor as well, see how he's doing. He's alright. So that's the governor of my main planet. First thing I want to do is research my home system. So if I survey the system to see where I live. I've got a new heir, the Crown Prince Hasktarak Mezak. Hasktarak Mezak, isn't that the same name as my leader? No, Haskzamon Mezak. I got a new heir, that's good. I'm also going to go to my shipyard and build another science ship, because exploration is key at this early part of the game. I want to explore as quickly as possible. And if I go to my homeworld, I can start building. So let's build a hydroponics farm there. My planetary administration, we've got a farm there. We've got a power plant. And is that another power plant? First things first, let's enslave this dude. He's producing food, so if I enslave him, he'll produce slightly more food, which is great. I think we actually need more food. So let's cancel that.
Construction complete.
Oh, that's loud. Oh, we've got our new science ships. So, right, what I'll do is I will start building a mineral silo there. And with our new science ship, we'll need a new scientist, so let's recruit a new scientist. This will cost us influence. We've got 108 influence. This will cost us 50 influence. This guy's good at researching particles. This guy's good at researching materials. This guy's good at researching rocketry. Those aren't ideal traits for a ship commander. They're not the ideal traits for a ship commander at all. Particles, materials, and rocketries. They are definitely research scientists. I'll recruit this guy. But I'm actually going to have our society research guy lead our ship, and I'll assign my new researcher to society research. He researches materials, which isn't ideal for society, because I don't think it's ideal for society. But we'll put him in place anyway. And with our second science ship, we will go to Nishpan, which is the nearest system to us. And we'll survey that system. How's the survey going? Yeah. So what ship's that? That's the Harris. And that's the Pobonor. So the Pobonor is going to a different system. And the Harris is doing nothing. I've obviously messed my orders up there, so you'll continue the survey of our home system. Well, the Pobonor jumps to this system. Back to Hydax. Let's get this back under control. So that's nearly built, is it? Is it nearly built? Yeah, that's nearly built, the mineral silo. So I'm going to move that pop over there, so that that pop's going to be able to man the mineral silo, because I don't need much more food. I've got plenty of food. It'll make the planet grow a little bit quicker. And I'll create another hydroponics farm there to boost the food even further. But really, minerals is what I need. Minerals is a key resource in building things. And for some reason, he's not producing anything. It's because I built a mineral silo, and I don't want a mineral silo. That's absolutely useless to me at this stage. What I really want, we just gained a level, is a mining network. A mineral silo increases our empire's maximum storage capacity. I'll keep it, because I will need it eventually, but it was a damn stupid move, so we'll get a proper one built over there. Stupid, stupid, stupid. Yeah, it doesn't actually produce anything, it just stores it. But look what we've got here. We've got a planet that has minerals around it. So I can take a construction ship. I'll move it there because I can't build it yet. But when I get enough minerals to do it, which is 90, I will build a mining station and we can start producing minerals from there. The Hydor system has been fully surveyed. So our home system is actually pretty naff. It only has a small amount of minerals on it, which is not good. However, maybe Thrish is a little better, so let's send our science system over to Thrish. Oh.
System survey complete.
Unfortunately, neither of them are in our borders, so I think that means I can't build mining stations in them, because they're too far away, which is really quite irritating. This is going to be a very difficult start. We finished the Nishpan system, which is also not very good. It's got some small research bonuses. I think we've started in a really bad place, and this could mean that we're going to be at a disadvantage compared to other empires. It may be best if I focus my resources. Oh, we've got a habitable planet there, a desert world in the Thrish system. I'm going to survey the system, but I'm going to start with the desert world, which is planet size 17. It's a reasonable size. We might be able to colonize this system. I was going to say I'm going to start by maybe having to extend my borders with some outposts, but if that's a good planet, I may even be able to just extend my borders with a bit of colonization. Build that mining station now. Everyone's doing something. We've got my science ships. Now that we've got some slaves, I'm going to check the slaves and see if they've got an ethics divergence, if their unhappiness is causing them to move away from... Not even with encouraging 3-fort going on, they're still sticking with our empire. That's why conformists was a good trait. So, the Trumhistan has made a startling find on Thrish 1. The planet is teeming with alien life. For the first time in history, we've encountered life forms that did not originate on Hydrax. This amazing discovery has silenced those who believed we were alone in the universe. Although none of the alien creatures found on Thrish 1 are sentient, it's only a matter of time before we find beings that are. We may not be alone out here, so that's a research gain. We'll gain some research points for finding aliens. Onwards and upwards we go. Sadly, the mining network is a lot slower than the minerals silo in terms of construction. Probably to be expected. Still in my military fleet. The first battle group. 3 corvettes. Very small military fleet, but it'll do for now. The Rathellan Galactic Empire is abuzz with the news of the alien life found by the Trumhistan. While hardly being intelligent by Rathellian standards, the fascinating beings defy easy classification and hint at the immense complexities and possibilities of the universe. Oh, we've uncovered some physics research bonuses on the planet Thrish 1. So that is the planet that has the alien life forms, isn't it? Which explains perhaps why there's a research bonus attached to it. It's also the planet that is colonizable. Let's take a look at the surface. Not got a great deal going on, but you know what, we can live there and we can make it our own with buildings. Mass extinction. Our first stumbling steps into the void beyond Hydrax were not motivated solely by curiosity, or a desire to conquer the unknown, or leave a mark on our galaxy. The biosphere of Hydrax has undergone rapid changes in the past few centuries, and prominent scientists warn that Hydrax may be faced with the beginnings of a mass extinction event. That cyclical purging of life that is inseparable from planetary existence in the greater cosmos. A research plan has been put together to study a number of planets rendered uninhabitable by major astronomical incidents or planet-bound catastrophes. We hope that by reconstructing these events, a similar fate may be avoided for Hydrax and the Rathelian race. It falls to you as Emperor of the Rathelian Galactic Empire to ensure that this expedition is carried out. Consult the situation log for more details. For a Rathelian future begins the mass extinction through the ages event chain. So this event chain is going to give me a number of planets where it wants me to visit and scan. Defend up into the situation log and construct the mining station complete. I can track these planets on the map and it'll show me where they are to go and investigate. So there they are, spread throughout the galaxy. One is in my borders, so that's one at least that I can go and check relatively quickly. I'm pretty sure I can't construct there because it's outside. Yeah, cannot build at this type of station or any of the planets in this system, which is because it is outside of my sphere of influence, which is a shame. We will expand my sphere of influence as soon as we can. Really rubbish so far, really rubbish start.
System survey complete.
Not a lot around us. Let's go.
Construction complete.
Hydrax has finished the surface cube, brilliant. Let's go and survey the Alphard system. You'll notice that it has to jump back to Hydro. That's because my wormhole station's in Hydro. My wormhole station can generate a wormhole between itself and one other star system. So at the minute there's a wormhole being generated between Thrish and Hydor, and then it'll be Hydor and Alphard. So one of the disadvantages of the wormhole stations is that you can't jump from two systems that have no wormhole stations, but it's still a lot quicker than warp drive, certainly.
Anomaly found.
And we found an anomaly. Impressive structures litter a small area on the surface of Dabi 4, practically begging for some archaeological work. There's a risk, 10% fail risk, but I'm going to research it and research these small structures that are on that planet. So you'll see my science ship, the Trumhiston, is undertaking its research. What should I do with this construction ship? Our astronomers are confident that the asteroid belt in the system was once a habitable planet torn asunder by major forces. A special project has been issued to study one of the major asteroids in the belt. This is part of the mass extinction events. Let's take a look at it. So there it is.
Situation log updated.
So we believe that that may have been part of a broken planet. And we can research that as part of our extinction event. And I will do, but I will scout the system first. It's going to take a little while before I get my colony ships, and even then I still have to build a colony ship. So unfortunately Thrish is out of my reach for the moment. It's definitely going to be on the agenda to get. I'm still pretty underwhelmed by the quality of the systems we've been uncovering. They're not particularly good. I'm going to be struggling for resources in particular. Abandoned amusement park. The structures on Dabi 4 are not as old as we first believe. It seems to have been a playground or amusement park of some sort. Science officer Has Gentar notes that many of the contraptions are highly complex creations that we can learn much from. That to the builder's alien eyes, it may have been a cutting-edge sensor array or even a gigantic art installation. Regardless, to us Rothelians, it looks mostly like a place where you would take your young and let them amuse themselves. Does that change the planet any? No, it gave me a little bit of a boost myself, but it hasn't added any sort of unique bonus onto the planet. Maybe that was a failed state. Maybe the fact that we think it was an amusement park was a failure of the scientific experiments, and that was part of the 10% fail. Regardless of that, we've now passed 20 minutes, and we like to try and keep our episodes on this channel to around about the 20-minute mark, so a little bit of a disappointing start. I hope, not entertainment-wise, I hope you're enjoying it, but a disappointing start in that it's going to prove difficult to build our empire from these rather shaky foundations. The Davi system has been scanned, and there's bollocks all there. Pardon my French. The Thrish system has been scanned, and there's only a small amount of research there. Same with the Nishpan system, it's been scanned, and there's only a small amount of research there. Even our home system only has a tiny amount of resources available. And everything's outside my sphere of influence. I don't have a single star other than Hydo, which is in my galactic influence. The only small hope is that Thrish, the planet there, helps us out. But even then, it's not going to bring a great deal inside our influence. It's a bad start. But I'm going to persist, and I am going to turn the Rothelian Galactic Empire into a force to be reckoned with in this galaxy. We'll be joining next time to see some more of that. Cheers.